I learned so much about how to teach piano at the conference. Even just the first day or two was literally more than I learned in all of my undergrad and grad school college education combined. Welcome to the Piano Sensei Way. I'm your host, Clinton Pratt, and we help you master the art of running a successful piano teaching studio. In this episode, we're going to be talking about professional development. Sounds very serious, but it's actually fun. We're going to talk about what it is and how to do it, and why you should do it, and answer your questions such as how do I pay for it, and how can I attend if I am supposed to teach, do I cancel all my lessons, all this stuff. So let's get to it. First, I wanted to tell you a story about my first professional development experience, which was going to the MTNA National Conference in 2005 in Seattle, Washington. And why did I go there? Well, I had just finished my master's degree and I started teaching a little bit, and I got an award that included free registration to the conference. And even though it was all the way in Seattle, I was in Cincinnati. My sister lived in Seattle. So I thought, hey, I can go visit her. I could stay with her for free. And I don't even have to pay for the conference. So basically, I just have to get there and buy food. I didn't really know what to expect. I just thought, okay, conference, whatever, sounds boring. But then I'll have the evenings with my sister and we can hang out and whatever. Well, little did I know, it was amazing. And I've been addicted. I've gone to probably 60, 70 conferences and workshops, probably more, since then. Why? Because of many reasons, but I learned so much about how to teach piano at the conference. Even just the first day or two was literally more than I learned in all of my undergrad and grad school college education combined. Okay, now it's not to totally poo-poo the college degree because I learned a lot, but as far as specific to teaching piano and how to teach piano and how to teach music, I didn't get much of that in college. I had one pedagogy class in undergrad where, I guess it was helpful information, but it was just one class, right? And then master's degrees, same thing. I think we had one semester, here are some method books. Here's, let's write your teaching philosophy. Well, it's like, I don't really know what my teaching philosophy is because I've never done it, So, yes, I learned lots of things in college, and I had lessons with my wonderful teachers who I will remember and respect forever. But as far as how to teach piano, like, you really need the experience. You need to just start doing it. You learn from your mistakes and whatnot, and you learn from professional development. You learn from hearing others talk about it, watching others do it in a masterclass, getting lots of information with, I'm getting ahead of myself because I'm just going to walk you through it all. Okay. But anyway, yeah. So that was my first conference, and then I was blown away. Then I, just been addicted, and I go to them all the time. So what is professional development? Another word for it is professional education or continued education. Basically, it's improving yourself through learning and training to advance your career. So it might be going to a workshop, going to a longer training session or conference, attending a webinar, going to a meeting which we'll talk about. Sometimes it's more informal of teachers meeting together and you just talk and share ideas, or some kind of class. By the way, those of you listening, there is also a video version, and I'm going to be showing you a lot in this episode. I've got slides with information. I'm going to show you some videos and a lot of photos. Of course, I'll explain everything. So if you're just listening or, to the podcast in your car or something, totally fine. You're going to get all the information. But just as an added icing on the cake, there is video too. And that's on the YouTube channel. Just search The Piano Sensei Way. So what happens at professional development? Well, you learn. That's the main thing. And one of my favorites maybe is you think. It might seem obvious, like, well, of course you think, but really think about thinking for a second. It makes you think about things. So you hear somebody talk about the way they teach their students to practice, or, what happens when a student does this and you're trying to help them with a rhythm. And so it just makes you think about your own. And sometimes you might even hear an idea that you don't agree with. Like, I don't think I would do it that way. But guess what? That's okay. And that helps you too, because it makes you think about it. Makes you think about, maybe I should do it that way. No, I like the way I do it because of this, or something else. So it's just great because it makes you think. It gives you ideas. You hear great music. Usually there's concerts with amazing musicians and artists, performers. You get to watch great teachers, because a lot of times there's a master class or a teaching demonstration where they're teaching somebody in front of the audience. There's products a lot of times if there's an exhibit hall or something, so you can see, theory games and sheet music. There's pianos a lot of times, Yamaha, Steinway. You can try out their new pianos. You can play them. Sheet music, resources. You can learn about apps and technology. You get to network with other teachers. And I really like that too, because it's kind of social too. You can socialize. But the networking is really important because a lot of times you see people again at a conference. It's a time to reconnect. But sometimes people move and change jobs or positions. And so it's nice to have the connections where maybe you move to a different city and then you know somebody because you met them at a conference, and then you can get a job, or you can hire them, or they move to your town, or blah, blah, blah. Travel. It's fun to travel. So a lot of times if it's, in a far away or exotic place, you get to travel. Also, it's a break from teaching. Even though we love teaching, we need a break. I'm going to play this video that I recorded with my friend and colleague, Lynette Barney. We just did sort of an impromptu video at the NCKP piano conference just a week or two ago. So here it is. All right, so we are here at NCKP 2023, the piano conference, and I'm here with Lynette Barney. And so professional development. Yeah, some people might say, aren't you already experienced? Don't you know what you're doing already? Why would you spend all this money to go somewhere and do what? So, why are you here? Why did you come?
Well, I've been to, I think, 9 national conferences now, and I think they're worth every dollar I spend because I always learn something new. I always find a new product to use in my studio, and the best part is meeting people, making friends, getting to know people doing something similar to what I'm doing, even if it's in another part of the country. I met Clinton at a national conference, and so I think the connections you make and the ideas you get, both in the formal classroom setting and in just conversations, are worth every penny and more.
Next, let's talk about some specifics of an event that you might go to. So there might be a local or state program or conference. So for example, local MTNA chapters MTNA is Music Teachers National Association. So every state has a chapter, and then usually within the state there's a local chapter or a district. And they usually offer programs and workshops and sometimes conferences too. And a lot of times they're free or just a small fee, like maybe $10 or $40 for a day or something. And since it's local, it's, you don't have to get a hotel and fly. So those are very helpful. Then your state MTNA probably also has programs and workshops, conferences. Here in Ohio, we have a 3-day conference every fall, and it's in a different part of the state every year. Okay, and then national conferences. So there's MTNA National Conference, like the very first one I went to in Seattle I was telling you about. It's every year in the spring. It's in a different city every year, so that's nice. Sometimes it's East Coast, West, Texas, North, cold, hot, so you get to see different parts of the country. It's usually a few thousand teachers. They're mostly piano. It's a mix of college faculty and private teachers. And, there's workshops, master classes, concerts, all of that. Then there's the National Conference on Keyboard Pedagogy, which is now sort of rebranded the Piano Conference. And that's where I just saw Lynette and played you that clip just a couple weeks ago. It's every 2 years. So it was this year, 2023, and then it'll be 2025. And it's always in the same place in Lombard, Illinois, just outside Chicago, at least for now. Maybe that'll change. And it's a little smaller than MTNA, probably 500 to 700, but it's all piano. Again, it's a mix of piano, college faculty, and private teachers. And it also has the workshops, master classes, concerts, and usually they have a little more social activities too. Okay, then there's the AES, National Conference, American Eurythmic Society. And we're going to do another episode on eurythmics and what that is, but I highly encourage it. It's one of my favorite topics. Well, I have lots, but that's every year in a different city. This coming year is Columbus, Ohio. Please come. It's usually very small, like 20 to 50 teachers. But, that has a different feel. That doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. You get to know everybody really well. It's very intimate. That's mostly general music, band, choir, teachers, and some piano. And it's all Dalcroze Eurythmics workshops. Right up my alley. Then there's the Creative Teaching Conference. And this is a shameless plug because this was started by myself and my friends and colleagues, Christopher Oil and Tony Parlapiano. So it's CTC, Creative Teaching Conference, but it's also Chris, Tony, Clinton, CTC. Clever, clever. Anyway, we started this last summer, 2022, and in July. So we're sort of planning it to do it every 2 years when there's not the piano conference. And we're having it at my studio in Cincinnati. It's small as well, 20 to 40 teachers. Mostly piano. Yeah, that slide is wrong. Sorry. I think I just copied the Eurythmics one. It's mostly piano. Yeah. But we've got workshops, teaching demos, concerts, jam session, social activities, and meals are together. So that's really fun. It's not like everybody just has to go out. We have it catered. So it's very close-knit, intimate. You get to know everybody. And it's all with creative teaching topics. So improv and playing by chords, composition, and just different creative ways of teaching, like Dalcroze Eurythmics, outside the box things. I'll put links in the show notes so you can get more info on everything. Okay, then there's specific training workshops. So not necessarily like a conference with all kinds of different topics, but like one specific thing or certification. For example, the American Eurythmic Society has summer training workshops. They're usually 1 or 2 weeks, and it's all eurythmics, and you learn that, and you can work towards a certification. RCM, Royal Conservatory of Music, Toronto, they have a teacher certification. You can get an elementary, intermediate, or advanced certificate. Those are 10-week courses online. And the Francis Clark Center, highly recommended. They have many topics. There's lots of courses that they have that you can sign up for. And I'll put links in the show notes. Here are some photos. Again, if you're just listening, check out the video version on YouTube, The Piano Sensei Way. Also, the website, thepianosenseiway.com. That will have, audio and links to the videos and everything. But here's some photos from the MTNA conference this past year. Was in Reno. I saw some of you there. So there's some photos. The casino in the, I think that's in the airport, which was funny. The view from my room is very beautiful. Here's a picture of a concert and someone giving a poster presentation and people browsing the music in the exhibit hall. And then one of the main sessions, the big crowd. And then top left, that's me with my teacher from grad school, Dr. Leanne Tan. Yay, shout out to you if you were listening. We presented a session together, so that was really fun. And then top middle, that's me with Hiram and Molly, and they both teach at my studio. And then top right is me with Christopher Oil, and we co-presented a presentation as well. Bottom left is alumni from Miami University in Oxford, Ohio, plus Dr. Tan, my teacher. Bottom right is me with Lynette, actually, and Nicola Canton, and then that other guy, I forget his name, I'm so sorry, but I think he was from Ireland too, like Nicola, so that was fun. People come from really far to go to these things. And then these photos are actually from the piano conference and CKP just a couple weeks ago. Top left, I'm presenting a session. Top right, just hanging out with other teachers. Bottom left, interactive workshop where there were a bunch of keyboards and teachers sitting down at them, and we were improvising and doing different activities. Bottom right is Tim Topham giving a workshop. And then here's just some more photos, meeting lovely people, lovely teachers. So, a few answers to some questions you might have. How do I pay for it? Okay. Yeah, so actually we didn't talk about the cost. So some things are free, like local programs. The national conferences, they can be several $100s, plus you have to fly there or drive and hotel. You can always share a room to cut down the costs. But basically, your business should pay for it, right? It's a business expense. So just work it into your, what you charge, because, that's just part of your business and career. So yeah, I don't pay for any conferences. Piano Sensei does. And you might say, well, you're a piano sensei. Well, yeah, but the business pays for it. Okay, that it pays for it. It's a business expense. And the next one, what should I do? Do I cancel and reschedule my lessons? In other words, people might say, well, I can't go to MTNA. That's in March and I teach lessons that week. Okay, well, guess what? Don't teach lessons this week. And we're going to do episodes on policies and calendar and all that, so I won't get into it, but, don't reschedule, just that's when you're going. And so you don't have lessons and, basically you should get paid to go. So your clients should still pay, and we'll get into that more in other episodes. And it's beneficial to them, to your clients and your students, that you go, right? Because you're learning more about how to give them a better experience. So they should want you to go. Another question, how many should I attend? Well, that's up to you. A lot of people do like one main one a year. I go to as many as possible because I love them. So usually NCKP and MTNA and Eurythmics and the CTC that I host and local ones and all the state ones. So Yeah, I'm a conference nerd, love professional development. And where do you find out more? I'll put links in the show notes. Also, listening to this podcast is professional development too. So, shameless plug, I know, but we're going to be covering lots of topics that will help you learn things, hopefully, run a successful piano teaching studio, and that's all free. So, we're going to talk about teaching things like improvisation, composition, eurythmics, how to practice, performance anxiety, and a bunch others. And then running the business as well, like policies, calendar and scheduling, marketing, website, growing your business, etc. So now let's, I'll just show you a quick couple more videos and then we're about wrapped up. Here's a video of, what is this? Oh, it is Drew Peterson, pianist, playing at the MTNA conference. It was amazing. He played some of the hardest pieces ever written for piano and just like with ease. Of course, he practices a lot, but it looks like, just, yeah. So here's a clip. I think this is from Ondine, if that's how you say it. Yeah, it was just a little clip, but amazing. And it's cool too because they had cameras on him on the big screen so that if you didn't have a good view, you could still see it. And then this clip is at the piano conference, just several of us hanging around at the reception after the conference or after a concert, and somebody's jamming on the piano. I think it's Bradley Solwash. If he's listening, hello, or you guys know him. I think it was summertime and the living is easy. Yeah, okay. I'm not really a singer. But yeah, so you saw there, like it's fun just to socialize, network, and he just sat down, started jamming on the piano. He's an awesome jazz and improv teacher and everything. And then last clip is in that interactive workshop with all the keyboards, but here he had us stand up and we were singing this pentatonic scale using solfege and changing the pattern. He was playing a chord progression to accompany us. I love that. I don't know if you could hear that at the very end after everybody finished. The teacher giving the workshop said kind of in a whisper, beautiful. And it was. We didn't even practice doing it. He was just, but of course, we're all musicians in the audience. So even though we're mostly piano, it sounded nice, We have a sense of pitch. Okay, so I think that wraps it up with professional development. Hopefully this gets you a little bit excited and maybe you'll check out some things. I know when I first thought about it, professional development, you're going to go to a conference. Like, I don't know, it just sounds serious and boring and like, oh, that's something I do. My job pays me to, I work for a pharmaceutical company and we have to go to a conference and sit through a lecture. Yeah, but for us, it's like, it's our passion, right? Like we're teaching music, teaching piano because we love it and we love doing it. We love music. So going to a conference isn't like some boring thing. Like, it's fun. We meet all the other piano nerds and, you know, talk about music and learn about music and teaching and piano. And yeah, it's just energizing and inspiring. So I hope you will check out more. Just check out the show notes. And if you're not subscribed, go to pianosenseiway.com, put in your email, and then you'll get updates every time there's a new episode. This was the first episode. Thank you for joining me. Well, the first one was the trailer. This is like the official first one. And I did a poll and a survey a little while ago, and a lot of you said you wanted to learn about professional development or talk about it. So maybe we'll do more in the future. But yeah, I will see you next time. Thanks for joining me at the Piano Sensei Way.